Hey guys, what's going on? So in this video, let me explain you how you can write really high converting comparison blog posts on your blog. On Sound Maximum, when I started publishing comparison blog posts, my traffic almost skyrocketed, right? So as you can see, almost 28% of my Sound Maximum traffic are from comparison blog posts. See, in case of comparison blog posts, you will be comparing two different product models together and helping people to make a buying decision, right? Depending upon the field that you are in, there will be a lot of products and different models, right? And people will be buying those products. Before buying those, they will be obviously comparing the competing products together and choosing the best according to their needs. So when they are researching which product is the best on Google, they will be typing in keywords like Blue Yeti versus Blue Snowball, like if they are choosing a mic for their requirement, or when they are selecting any smartphone, they may be searching for something like iPhone versus Samsung, two different models. So like as more and more new products pop up in the market, then there will be more and more comparison keywords that will also pop up. And these keywords are potentially untapped if you do your good research. I've already discussed on how to do comparison keyword research in my keyword research module. And also, these comparison blog posts convert really well, because when people are searching for these kind of comparison keywords, they will be in a severe dilemma whether to choose one product over the other. Right? They will be stuck in analysis paralysis. Like you may have witnessed this before, like when choosing between whether to go with iPhone or Android, or which Android device, like whether you need to go with Samsung, Google Pixel, Xiaomi, Huawei, OnePlus. So there are really a wide range of options for you, right? In that case, you will be searching for something like OnePlus versus Huawei or something like that. So your goal with comparison blog posts is to help people make a buying decision between two products by contrasting the features that those products offer and also the benefits. What differences in benefits do these two products have by considering their features, right? You need to give a clear idea for the people which product to choose according to their needs, right? You can compare these blog posts when it comes to different aspects and choose the winner product in every aspect. Like I will go in depth and give you real life examples regarding comparison content. Stay with me. So now let us discuss about the content research stage in writing your comparison blog post. So if I head over to Google and I can just enter in any of the products that come in my head. Okay, so for example, if I'm looking for hosting related products, so I may be typing in something like SiteGround versus say Green Geeks. Okay, so if Google is suggesting something, there will be people searching for these keywords no matter what these tools say. Okay, because in hosting, even if you get a 10 to 20 traffic per month, it's a lot because you will be earning a lot of commission, okay, with hosting affiliate sales. You don't need to worry about the search volume being zero here, right? It's factually incorrect. Okay, so many people search for these comparison related keywords when they are in a dilemma, in some cases severe dilemma, as to which product to choose among these two products. So another example would be Blue Snowball versus Snowball ICE. Okay. So this is also a comparison keyword. So when you're writing comparison related articles, you should be comparing the products aspect wise. Okay. You can see I have this blog post on GeneratePress versus Astra theme. So I have compared these two WordPress themes when it comes to different aspects like ease of use, performance, layout customization, when it comes to color customization, how both of these themes compare, when it comes to developer friendliness, how both of these two themes compare, right? So this is aspect friendly comparison. You may have come across some blog posts in which they just review each of these products independently and just stack above one another. right? That simply doesn't work. And also you can see JBL Charge 3 versus Charge 4. So this is also aspect-centric comparison. So we have compared build and design, features, sound quality and performance, similarities and differences, and pros and cons. So it should be aspect-centric, not product-centric, right? You don't need to stack the individual reviews of two products above each other. When I scroll down, I can see Microphone Authority. This is ranking below, like the rankings is like 6th or 7th. First you have the Blue Snowball review, and then you have the Snowball ICE microphone review. Okay, so you should not have the reviews of the products separately, right? So you need to do aspect-centric comparison. That worked really well for us to rank for almost all the comparison related content that we generate on both BloggingX and Sound Maximum. So if you just scroll down and if you just browse some of the articles related to comparison content, you will surely come across some poorly ranking content that are just reviewing the two products one below the other and not doing aspect-centric comparison. So this is really important that you need to consider. You need to write aspect-centric product comparisons, not product-centric comparisons. And you need to first research the aspects you need to compare when it comes to a product. Okay, so that's really important. So when it comes to theme, right, so there are various aspects that people consider. When it comes to people-centric aspects, these are all the things. People want the ease of use when it comes to theme, right? They don't want a complex theme, and they want the best performance when it comes to page speed. Okay, and they want the best layout customization features, and they want the best color customization, right? They want to compare the two products when it comes to different modules that they offer, or if they are interested in HTML or CSS customization and developer options, they want to compare the products with this aspect as well, or compatibility with page builders. If they are into WooCommerce, they want comparison of these two products in WooCommerce aspect as well, right? So you need to determine what are all the needs of the people even before writing your first line of your comparison content. When you really have a deep empathy towards the needs of the people, it will be very easy for you to formulate the aspects around which you will be comparing the products. Okay, so for example, we have JBL Charge 3 versus Charge 4. So when it comes to a speaker, build and design is the first one, and all the features that it offers, and sound quality and performance is also a good feature that we need to cover in case of speakers. Depending upon the type of product that you are covering, there will be some aspects that you need to consider. Okay, so if you head over to my blog, and here we have some email marketing comparisons. Okay, so you can see here, when it comes to email marketing tools, okay, these are all the aspects. People want to compare these two products when it comes to interface, when it comes to listing management, email broadcast, automation builder, A/B split testing, e-commerce CRM, forms and landing pages, and so on. There's no rigidity when it comes to the aspects that you need to cover. For example, not every email marketing software has e-commerce related features, but in this case, MoveSend and GetResponse has some e-commerce related features. That's why we have included this section. So if you follow our framework of preparing a detailed cheat sheet or questionnaire as to what are all the questions and aspects that we need to cover in our reviews, then you'd be better off with it, right? So if you're so much confused as to what aspects you need to compare these products around, then you can just head over to some top ranking articles for the keyword that you're targeting and just get some idea about what are all the aspects around which you need to compare the products. And you need to always compare maximum 3 products, right? So for example, in this blog post, I have compared 2 products. In some other blog posts, we have compared 3 products. Okay, maybe JBL Charge 3 versus Charge 4 versus Charge 5. If you are comparing 3 different products, like A versus B versus C, then potentially you are targeting 3 different comparison keywords. That is A versus B, B versus C, and A versus C, right? You will be getting traffic from 3 different keywords on your single blog post. So that is also a really good strategy, okay, of comparing three different products if they are closely relevant and if there is a common dilemma which one to choose among them. And don't go beyond three. I have experimented this on Blogging X. I have compared like 4 different products and it turned out to be a mess, right? So the fourth one is you can make use of Google Suggest for fresh keywords. So here you can just enter in, say for example, if you're doing some comparisons of different wireless routers, so you can just enter in any keyword, okay? For example, you have TP-Link, okay? So you can just enter in versus here and just enter in space here so that Google will suggest you some comparison keywords on which you can create your blog post. Although there are some keywords for which there are search volumes as 0, but if Google is suggesting this, then you can be pretty sure that there are people searching for these keywords. Again, as I told you, these are historical volumes. These products may be released recently, okay? That's why these tools that rely on historical data may not be suggesting you the correct real-time volume. So like this, you can just make use of a wildcard keyword suggestion, like you can enter in space here, like fill in the blanks and make Google recommend you the keywords. Okay, now you have got Netgear, right? So I can just replace TP-Link with Netgear and I will get many more keywords here. Okay, so you can make use of Ahrefs here as well. So let me go to Ahrefs, and here under Keyword Explorer, I can just enter in Netgear versus. Okay, but because in case of Google search suggest, there will be limited number of suggestions. But in case of keyword research tools like Ahrefs, you can have a lot of suggestions or keywords, okay, having same search terms. Okay, you can see there are a lot of keywords comparing Netgear versus various other routers like Netgear CM700 versus Ares SB6190. So there are a lot of keywords, guys. So if you are in wireless router category, so you can potentially target any of these keywords. So you have Linksys, right? So I can replace Netgear with Linksys. Or you have Ares, so I can replace Netgear with Ares and come with many more keywords. So this is how you do ongoing keyword research for your comparison posts. And one major downside that I am seeing with these keyword research tools is that as they rely on past 12 months data, right, you will be missing out on some newly launched router related keywords. So for that, you can make use of Google Trends. Okay, in this case, I have an example of Sennheiser HD650. So this is how the trend graph be like. I mean, in the past 12 months, this is how the volume for this particular keyword is be like. And I can go ahead to related topics and just browse. And you can see Google sees this product as related to this product. Okay, so you can again click on this and see how's the graph. Okay, in this case, the graph is not impressive. So you can drop your idea of comparing these two microphones with each other. Okay, this one and this one. So I can just enter in any router related keyword. Say like I can enter in Netgear Orbi. I can just enter in this term here, say this model. Yeah, you can see the trend is really stable. And here are some of the products: Google Nest, Amazon Aero Pro Mesh, TP-Link Deco M5. So Google sees that these two products are related to each other, right? Rest assured, there will be a lot of comparison keywords that people are searching related to Netgear, this model, versus TP-Link, this model. If you enter in that keyword in Ahrefs, it will show 0 search volume. But still, if Google Trends is suggesting you that, then it means that people are obviously searching for comparisons. You will be using Google Trends for figuring out trending competitors. Okay. And now let us discuss about how to write comparison content. The first one is you need to have a really good introduction for your comparison post. When people are in a dilemma as to which product to choose, they have certain questions running in their head, or they may have certain concerns that they have in their mind, right? You need to restate all their concerns in the form of questions and also like adopting conversational approach in your copywriting. Okay, so you need to have a hooking introduction, and you need to have a comparison table or boxes above the fold in your comparison content, because people want to first see the product images, and also maybe they also need to click on the product pages before even starting their comparison. Okay, for example, when they come on your blog post like JBL Charge 3 versus Charge 4, right, so they want to see what two products that they are comparing, subconsciously at least, right? So they want to see how those two products look like, and also they may want to click on these Amazon links to help them like easily contextualize the information that you are gonna present here. Okay, and again we have a comparison table. We have not included the images in the table because we have already included the images here. Okay, so again this is our next attempt to make sure that people click on our affiliate links. Okay, and now the main review will be here. You will be comparing products when it comes to different aspects. As I told you earlier, your comparison content should be aspect centric, not product centric. And you need to compare the benefits, not only the features. That's really important. See, when you are comparing, it's easy to compare the features of two different products. But you need to remember, when you are comparing the features of different products, that should be followed by the differences in benefit, right? So let me give you an example. Okay, so if I go down, okay, you can see the fabric also helps your grip when holding the speaker, especially when wet, right? This is a feature, that is, it has a fabric, particular fabric. Okay, now this is the benefit. It holds the water without making the speaker slippery. So that is what people care about here. Okay, and if you go down, here we have IPX7 waterproof rating. People don't give a damn about whether it's IPX5 or IPX7, right? They want a speaker that can survive like 30-minute dip inside water. Okay, so this is a feature and this is a benefit. Every feature should be followed by the benefit. Okay, this is really important, guys. People care about the benefits. So now, when comparing the products within each aspect, you need to call out the winners and have a bottom line for each section. You can see here when it comes to build and design, right? So we have the verdict here, right? So we have potentially summarized whatever the things that we have explained in 1 or 2 paragraphs. Okay, that is really important to get a clarity for the people who are reading this blog post. And once this verdict is over, we have 2 call to action buttons in 2 separate columns. And now this is another aspect, and this is the verdict. This is another aspect, and this is the verdict. Okay, and you can also see move send versus get response. Okay, so we have different aspects here, say interface, and in interface we have the winner product here. Okay, that is move send, that is the affiliate link here. Okay, and listing management, the winner product here. So we are comparing move send and get response. When it comes to the interface, move send wins. When it comes to listing management, get response wins because of some features, maybe some cleanup issues or list hygiene features. Okay, maybe, I don't know. Email broadcasts, right? Get response wins. Automation builder, get response. A/B split testing, get response. E-commerce CRM, get response. So forms and landing pages, move send. Reporting and analytics, tie, right? So you need to call out the winner in each and every category. Deliverability, that is the most important thing. Move send. Like this, when any reader is reading your content, he needs to get a clarity about what product excels in what aspect and how it impacts his business. Okay, this is really important. These winner sections or bottom line sections will help people to easily digest your lengthy comparison posts. And you can also include pros and cons with call to action buttons on your comparison posts. Okay, so pros and cons is really important. For example, we include what do you like and what do you like about get response, these 2 sections here. Okay, so these are like pros and cons for us, like what do you like about GetResponse versus MoveSend? These are all the things that I like about GetResponse, but those are not present in MoveSend. So people can consider this box as MoveSend pros and this box as MoveSend cons, and they can consider this box as GetResponse cons and this box as GetResponse pros. Right? We have this cleverly thought out sections to just substitute pros and cons for both of these products. And when you head over to JBL Charge 3 versus Charge 4, here we have the pros and cons section. Okay, so we have pros and cons for Charge 3 and Charge 4. And at the end of pros and cons for each product, we have call to action button. Once our visitors read pros and cons, the chances of them clicking on our affiliate link will be more. So you need to have call to action buttons there. And you need to have a verdict or a conclusion for your blog post where you will be mentioning the main differences between the two products and help people decide what is right for whom, right? So here you can see for this blog post, we have the conclusion here, and we have something like the JBL Charge 3 and Charge 4 are similar in many ways, but the subtle differences still make each one unique. Charge 3 is every bit as useful as Charge 4, except if you hope to connect multiple JBL speakers. So these are some of the main differences that we have included in the conclusion. Again, you need to make sure that your conclusion will not be so long, or else people are not going to read it. It should be very short and to the point and just give them a brief overview or the concentrated version of your blog post. So these are all the steps involved in writing content for your comparison blog posts.